negative, right? So internal pressure actually goes down, then always the air or gas actually moves from high pressure to low pressure. Okay, so that's why since we have negative pressure here, negative pressure in our body when we breathe in, okay, that's how the air actually enters from outside to inside our body. Okay, but when we breathe out, okay, then volume is going to decrease by backing the diaphragm up again, okay, and then also contracting these rib cages again. Okay, so when we do that, then volume decreases, okay, then pressure increases back again, okay, then this pressure is gonna go high, right? So we have higher pressure than the outside, then the gas actually goes from inside to outside, okay? So that's how we can breathe in and breathe out, okay? And that's using the pressure, and the pressure is made by using the muscles, okay? Muscles of the diaphragm and also expanding the rib cage, okay? So that's how we actually breathe in and breathe out. That's on page 223, okay? So first of all, the first paragraph on 223, it says, in humans, air enters the nasal cavity and is moistened, warmed, and filtered. From there, air passes through the larynx and down the trachea and bronchi into the tiniest bronchioles, which end in microscopically tiny air sacs called alveoli. Okay? Here is where diffusion of respiratory gases occurs. Okay? So these are all the names of the structures that you should know. Okay? So it goes through the nasal cavity, and the epiglottis, and then trachea, and then goes to the bronchus. Okay, that's in figure 15.3. Okay, so it goes to bronchus, bronchioles, and the alveolus. Okay, so in the alveoli, this is the alveolus. Okay, so in this space, this is like a tiny air sac. Okay, so after the air enters towards the lungs, then at the very end, you have a bloodstream that's going through the alveoli. This is a blood capillary. Okay, and capillary going towards the lungs. Okay, so blood is like flowing towards the lungs. Okay, so blood coming towards the lungs has, okay, blood high in CO2 and low in O2. You know what I mean? Because these blood actually came up from the cells. Okay, and then at this space, okay, O2 and CO2 gas exchange occurs. Okay, so air actually rich in O2 gives O2 to the blood. Okay, and the CO2 actually diffuses towards the to the alveoli. Okay, then this blood actually becomes rich in O2 and low in CO2. You know what I mean? Okay, so this goes to the heart. So this goes to the heart. And this fresh air, this fresh like blood actually gets pumped towards the entire cells of our body. Okay, so this is how the respiratory system is actually connected to the circulatory system later. Okay, so this is what happens in the alveoli, the gas exchange. Okay. How we can breathe in and breathe out is stated in the next paragraph. So humans have an internal respiratory surface because respiratory gases are exchanged deep inside the body. The rib cage expands and forces the diaphragm to contract and move downward, thus expanding the chest cavity and decreasing the internal pressure. Okay? So air is drawn into the lungs by negative pressure because the internal pressure inside the chest cavity is lower than the air pressure surrounding the body. So this is how we breathe in. Okay? So about the lungs, we have to know two different things. Okay, first of all, the negative pressure that's formed by the diaphragm and the rib cage. Okay, second, there's a gas exchange occurring at the end of the lungs. Okay, at each air sac, that's called alveoli. Okay, so blood that's going to the lungs has rich in CO2, low in O2, okay? And around the alveoli, the gas exchange occurs, blood becomes fresh, okay? So it's rich in O2, and it goes towards the heart, and this blood actually gets pumped towards the entire body, okay? So two things that you have to know. Another thing is how the breathing rate is controlled, okay? So we have a control center for breathing rate. Okay, so when we're exercising, okay, or when we are like at a environment where O2 is very low, okay? Then we have to increase the breathing rate because our body